Hey, welcome to today's workout. Today we're going to focus on mostly mobility, but a little bit of core and balance as well. This video is great as a standalone workout, but it's also a good warm up too. If you're going to go do some strength training, maybe a little bit of cardio, great way to warm up the body. All right, let's get to it. All right, so for this workout, you just need a mat. We're going to start in a 4-point kneeling position. So hands are right under your shoulders, knees are right under your hips, and we're just going to start with a cat and cow stretch. So you're going to tuck your head in, arching that back, and then we're going to switch to the other direction. So just holding for a couple moments, a couple breaths in each pose. And just focusing on the mobility here. Here, 3, 2, and just one more each direction. Tuck it in, nice big stretch. And looking up towards the ceiling, belly button comes down to the mat. Good. And then slowly come back to a nice neutral back. We're going to bring that hand into the middle of the chest, and we're just going to go into some rotations here. Opening up that chest and just working on a little bit of rotation in that upper back. Let's just do 4 more. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Right on. And then let's switch to the other side. So again, bringing that hand into the middle of the chest. Just going to shimmy over so I don't hit the wall. Up and down. So again, opening that back up. If your neck is able to, you're going to also look towards the ceiling and back down. Nice. 5 more. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and just 1 more. Up and lower back down. Very nice. Bringing your knees about mat distance apart. You can also bring your toes there. We're going to bring those arms out a little bit forward, just in front of the chest. Come back into child's pose. And then we're just going to come forward into that upward facing dog. So down. And you can kind of play with the placement of your knees. If that distance doesn't feel great, you can just bring them a bit closer together, maybe a little bit further apart. Every body is different, so we really just want to do what feels good here. The movement should be nice and smooth. And if you're having any knee pain with this, just with the knees being on a hard surface, feel free to grab a blanket or just double up your mat. Get a little bit of cushion for that joint. Just 1 more. All the way back and all the way forward. Good. All right. We're going to come back into that 4-point kneeling position. And this time we're going to take a giant step forward with our right leg to the outside of that right hand. And we're just going to push forward, stretching out that hip. So we're going to move to the other side. I'm just going to come a bit closer and switch to the other side. So lean forward, bring that weight forward, feeling that stretch in the hip, and just going side to side at your own pace here. You can keep your gaze forward, just helping opening up that chest. Good. One more time. Nice. Now you can either stay with your knees on the ground or you can come up to your toes. We're going to do that same step. This time we're going to add that rotation from one of the first moves we've done. Back down and out. Reach up. Good. If you're feeling extra energetic today, you can add a little bit of a jump. So your hands are going to come down. You're just going to jump between those movements. This might bring your heart rate up a little bit. Try to be nice and controlled with those movements. Jump and reach. Nice. One more time on each side. And other side. Good. And then we're going to bring the knees back down, back into that 4-point kneeling position. Reset, hands right under the shoulders, knees right under the hips. Now we're going to go into a bird dog. So you're going to lift the arm and opposite leg, and you're just going to hold here, core nice and tight, so belly button comes to spine. But you also want to feel like those core muscles are giving your spine a nice hug. And switch to the other side. Remember to keep breathing through these exercises, working that core a little bit. You want to keep that back nice and flat. So hips are nice and square. Good. And now you can either stay here or we're going to add a little bit of movement. So working that core a little bit harder, we're going to go elbow to knee, just a little tap and reach out. Tap, push that heel out. 4 more for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Other side. Remember, if you just want to hold, you can, or if you're ready to move, you're going to do that little tap. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 more. Perfect. All right, we're going to flip over onto our backs. We're just going to bring the shoulders all the way down to the mat. I'm going to start with a hip stretch. So bringing the ankle to the opposite knee, you're going to reach for that leg and straighten it out. We're just going to hold. So you're going to make a little bit of a figure 4 with your legs. And we can work on the mobility of those ankles a little bit. You're just going to lower and point. And then we'll do a couple circles. And the other way. Nice. All right. Gonna release, bring those hands to behind the ears or just out to the side, wherever it's comfortable. We're gonna add a little bit of core to this stretch. So you're gonna lower and lift for 5. Feel that stretch. 4, 3, 2, and last one. Nice. All right. Release. Just going to bring those knees side to side for a quick little lumbar rotation. Massage out that low back. Good. Just one more time. All right. And we'll go back to that stretch opposite side. So bringing your left leg straight, Right knee, right ankle comes to left knee, and we're going to start with that stretch, and then we're just going to work on the mobility of that ankle. So ankles tend to get stiff, especially if you wear like work boots all day. Your ankles get really immobilized. So we just want to kind of work on that joint, bringing it through its range of motion so you don't lose that flexibility. It's important with lots of sports, walking and running. So we want to keep the flexibility in all the joints of the body. Woo, other way. Little crack there, crack. All right, hands come down to the side. We're gonna lower and lift for 5. Core nice and tight. Remember to kind of give that spine a hug. 3 and 2 and 1. Nice. And then we're just gonna bring the knees to chest. Just catching your breath here. Good, you can relax that back down. Shoulders come to the mat. Then we're going to bring the knees up towards the ceiling. Ankles are just behind the knees. You want a 90-degree bend. Hands are at the side, and we're just going to lower those heels and then nice and controlled lift. So you should feel this in your core. Again, belly button comes to spine. Nice hug in that core. Hug to the spine. And that's really going to engage those deep core muscles. Good. And if you need to touch your heels down after each movement, that's okay. But if you can leave them a little bit hovered, then that keeps tension on the core and just makes it that much more difficult. So a little bit of a progression there. 2 more. Nice. All right. We're going to just come up into a seated position, and then we're going to come up to standing. So we're going to work on a little bit of balance here, balance with some mobility. So the first balance exercise we're going to do is you're going to have a nice wide stance. Toes are pointing off at about 45 degrees. We're going to come to a bend, and then we're going to stand up into a balance. So side lunge here, checking in with that knee, making sure it stays behind the tips of the toes, and then you're going to lift up and balance. So as we balance, we really want that core to be engaged. It's going to make it a little bit easier. And then if you want to add some mobility of the shoulders, thumbs are up, we're going to lift. Good. Down and lift up. Just 2 more. Last one. Nice job. All right, other side. Toes pointed out about 45 degrees. Bend and lift. Good. And with balance, you might find on one side you're a bit more challenged compared to the other. And that's really normal. If you want to do a couple extra repetitions on the side that you're not as good on, that can help you even things out. Let's do 4 more. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Just going to focus in the mobility of the hip a little bit here. We're just going to come around, open up. So driving that knee up into a bit of a half circle and down. Lift and down. For 3, 2, and 1. Good. Still working on that leg. We're going to just go into a couple leg swings, so in and out, bringing it across and up. And the tendency for this one is for your body to want to kind of go over to this side to counterbalance, but try to keep your body up nice and tall. It might help to just kind of extend that opposite arm up just to keep that chest up tall. 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Just kind of shake it out a little bit. And we're going to drive up and out to the side. For 4, 3, 2, and 1 more. Excellent. All right, swing that leg. Arm comes up. If you feel a little bit challenged into not counterbalancing. Good. If you need to catch your balance by stopping and starting again, that's totally fine. Takes practice. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Just marching it out a little bit here. All right, last exercise we're going to do is we're going to take a giant step back, arms come up, and then we're going to swing through into a standing balance. So step back and swing. Can add a bit of a lunge here too. If you want to bend that front knee a bit more, you can. Just make sure it stays behind the toes. 2 more. And last one. And let's switch to the other side. Back and up. Keeping that back leg straight. Giant step back. Pushing the heel back. You might feel a bit of a stretch into the calf. It's great. For 4, 3, 2, and 1 more. Perfect. Stretch it out a little bit, side to side. Catching your breath. All right, thanks so much for joining me for this workout. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.